Hi students. Now in this video lecture we will see how exactly we carry out the process of electrolysis, and we will see all the arrangement, the apparatus that is used to carry out the process of electrolysis, right? And before this lecture we have studied about the definition of electrolysis, about what is electrolyte, what is non-electrolyte, and now we will see how all that will work here, right? So the diagram that you see here is a simple arrangement, right, that is used to carry out the process of electrolysis, right? Now in this arrangement you see this is a glass vessel which is made up of a non-conducting material, right? And inside this glass vessel it contains electrolyte, right? And we know that electrolyte is a solution of an electrovalent compound or electrovalent compound in molten state, right? And this electrolyte contains mobile ions. Mobile ions means cations and anions, right? And inside this electrolyte we see two metal rods, right? These are two metal rods which are further connected to a battery, right? One of the rod is connected to the positive terminal of the battery and the other rod is connected to the negative terminal of the battery, right? And we have also gone through the conductivity of metals, how metals conduct electricity, right? And we know that metals are good conductors of electricity. Why? Because they contain free mobile ions, free mobile electrons, right? And it is due to the presence of mobile electrons, right? And we have also studied that when we applied electric current, right, to the metal rod, the mobile electrons that are randomly oriented before applying electric current, they started moving in a specific direction. They started moving in a direction, right? And the electrons started moving from the negative terminal of the battery to the positive terminal of the battery, right? And we have also discussed that it is the directional flow of charge due to which electric current flow, right? Now we will see that how the directional flow of charge will allow electricity to pass through this electrolyte, right? So I'll just mention here one thing and we will get back to that directional flow of charge will cause electric current to flow, right? We'll get back to this, right? Now these metal rods, since we already know now that metals are good conductors of electricity, right? So when current is turned on, right, when current from this DC source, remember this would always be a DC source, right? Why DC source always? We will never use AC source. AC source is alternating current. We will always use direct current because alternating current would not let electrolysis to continue. Why? Because in alternating current, in one phase we get current, in another phase we don't get current, right? So electrolysis won't continue, and in direct current we'll get current in both the phases, right? So this source of current would always be a direct current supply, right? So when this is turned on, right, one of the metal rod will become cathode, right, that is the negative electrode, and the other metal rod would become anode. Anode is a positive electrode. We'll just discuss about electrodes, right? So what is the main function of these metal rods? The main function of these metal rods is that current enters this electrolyte through one of the metal rods, through cathode, right, and will leave the electrolyte through the other metal rod, right? And we know the other metal rod is anode. So current leaves and enters the electrolyte through these metal rods, right? So let's take one example before we understand this in detail. Okay, one more thing, this arrangement or the apparatus that is used to carry out the process of electrolysis is called as voltmeter, or we call it as an electrochemical cell, right? Now let's take an example. Let's say this is an electrovalent compound, right? And we will break this electrovalent compound into M and N using electric current, right? Now we will see how we can break this electrovalent compound into M and N, right? Because this electrovalent compound is made up of M and N using electric current. So that means this electrolyte would consist of this ionic compound, right? This is an ionic compound. So this electrolyte would consist of the ionic compound, right, Mn, in solution or in molten state. And we know that if this is the solution of an ionic compound or in molten state, this would consist of M and N negative ions. Let's say this M is positive and N is non-metal negative, right? So this solution or this electrolyte will consist of M plus and N minus ions, right? So since when the electric current is not turned on, right, these ions are in mobile state, right? The electrolyte contains mobile ions, right? I'll just document some of the things. These metal rods, we've just missed some part. These metal rods are called as electrodes, right? And this negative electrode through which current enters the electrolyte is called as cathode, right? And the electrode through which current leaves this electrolyte is called anode, right? Anode is positive electrode and cathode is negative electrode, right? So before current is turned on, right, this solution of ionic compound or this electrolyte contains mobile M plus ions and N minus ions, right? And at present there is no chemical reaction, right? This would be the final chemical reaction wherein this compound will break to give M and N. At present there is no chemical reaction, right? These ions, this electrolyte just consists of these mobile ions, right? Now we'll see how these mobile ions will allow electric current to pass through it, right, and will cause decomposition of this ionic compound into these products, right? So when electric current is turned on, let's see what will happen. When electric current is turned on, if you just remember this, directional flow of charge will cause electric current to flow, right? Now we'll see how the directional flow of charge will cause electric current to flow inside this inside this electrolyte, right? Because to bring about this reaction, right, this ionic compound is nothing but this electrolyte, right? So this electrolyte has to conduct electric current, right, to bring about this chemical reaction, because we are doing this reaction with the help of electric current, right? So it is important or necessary for this electrolyte to conduct electric current, right? So for electric current to flow inside this electrolyte, we need directional flow of charge, right? Like in metals, for metals to conduct electricity, we need a directional flow of electrons, right? Here electrolyte consists of negative ions as well as positive ions. So now we'll see how movement of these positive and negative ions will cause electric current to flow inside the electrolyte, right? Just quickly we'll do one thing. Now we know that anode is positive electrode, right? Cathode is negative electrode. You can just take down all the notes, right? And when the current is turned on, this cathode will become negative electrode, right? And this anode will become positive electrode, right? And when current is turned on, let's see what will happen to these ions. When current is turned on, the positive ions, right? When current is turned on, ions will move to electrodes, right? This electrolyte consists of positive ion and negative ions. When current is turned on, these ions will move to electrodes, right? So these positive ions will move towards, positive ions which are cations, right, will move towards negative electrode, right, which is cathode, and these negative ions, right, which are anions, will move towards positive electrode, that is anode, right? So cations, we know cations are positive ions, that is M plus ions, will move to, cations will move to cathode, right? And anions are N minus A, will move to anode, right? And there is a way to remember this, because in all electrolysis process we'll have this procedure, so it is important to understand this. We can remember this by that cations will move to cathode, that is C will move to C, right? And anions will move to anode, so we write it as A move to A. C will move to C, A will move to A. C to C, A to A. This is the way you can remember it easily, right? So now we know that when electric current is turned on, these positive ions will move towards cathode, right? And these negative ions will move towards anode, right? These are also negative ions, these move towards anode. These positive ions all will move towards cathode. Now look at this, directional flow of charge will cause electric current to flow. Now we have the directional flow of charge, both the charges, positive charge and negative charge, that is cations and anions, now started moving in different directions. Cations are moving towards cathode, anions are moving towards anode, right? So now we have directional flow of charge, both positive and negative charges. Since we have directional flow of charge, this will allow electric current to pass through this electrolyte, right? That is why we say that electrolytes or ionic compounds are good conductors of electricity in solution state, because the mobile ions that are there in the solution of electrovalent compounds will start moving towards positive electrode and negative electrode when electric current is passed through it, right? Because we need to have this directional flow of charge, right, in order for electric conduction, right, through this electrolyte. And this is known as this, since these mobile electrons are conducting electricity, right, this is known as electrolytic conduction, right? So now this is electrolytic conduction, right? That is conduction due to, what do we call it as, conduction due to mobile ions, right? So directional flow of charge will cause electric current to flow. In case of metals, it was what, in case of metals, if you remember, it was electrons, free mobile electrons that were moving from positive to negative terminal of the battery. I'm sorry, it was negative to positive terminal of the battery. it was mobile electrons moving from positive to negative terminal of battery, right? Now in case of, this is how electric current flows in metals. And since electrons are moving from positive to negative, sorry, it's negative to positive, it's negative to positive terminal of the battery. Since electrons are moving from negative to positive terminal of the battery, so negative to positive is a direction, so charge is moving in a direction, so electric current will flow. What in case of electrolytes? In case of electrolytes, cations and anions will move to, better we use this word, will migrate to cathode and anode, right? Since now we have directional flow of charge for cations and anions, cations are moving towards the direction of cathode, anions are moving towards the direction of anode, right? So now this movement of ions will allow electric current to flow through this electrolyte. So the movement of positive and negative ions will allow electric current to flow through this electrolyte, right? Now till here we know that C will move to C, A will move to A. Now let's see what will happen when cations will move to cathode and anions will move to anode, right? Since we know that cations are positive ions. Positive ions means they are deficient in electrons, right? So they need electrons, right? And anions are negative ions. That means they have excess of electrons which they can lose, right? So this is what will happen when at anode and cathode. Since cations are moving to cathode, right, they will gain electrons from cathode, and anions, when they will move to anode, they will lose electrons to anode, right? And these are known as electrode reactions, right? So these are electrode reactions in which cations will gain electrons at cathode, right, and anions will lose electrons at anode, right? And we already know that why cations will gain electrons, because they are deficient in electrons. And we already know that positive metal ions, when they react, positive ions will always gain electrons, right? And anions will lose electrons at anode, right? So what do we call to the reaction wherein we have gain of electrons? Cations will gain electrons at anode, so we have reduction reaction at cathode, right? And here anions will lose electrons at anode. Loss of electrons is oxidation, right? So here oxidation at anode, right? So this is important till this point, because in whatever electrolytic process, right, we would be doing in future of different electrovalent compounds, the most important part is electrode reactions, right? These reactions, that is, they will in the exams they will ask you the reactions what are the reactions occurring at cathode and anode. Right? You need to write the reaction then, right? Showing the loss of electrons, gain of electrons, and what product is formed at cathode and anode. Now, since cathode and anode, these oxidation and reduction reactions are occurring at cathode and anode, right? So product of electrolysis would be obtained at cathode and anode. Since these reactions are occurring at these electrodes, get positive electrode and negative, that is cathode and anode, so product of electrolysis would be obtained at these electrodes. Now, since we have taken the example of Mn, so Mn, right, in this solution, this contains these mobile ions. This is cation and this is anion, right? And this will move to cathode. M plus will move to cathode, right? M plus, when M plus will move to, now we are writing electrode reactions. When M plus will move to cathode, it will gain electrons. Since it's a positive electrode, right, it will gain 1 electron, right, to form M, right? Similarly, N will, it's an anion, it will move to anode, it will lose electron there, it will form N, right? So this is product at cathode, right, and this is product at anode, right? These are the products that we need. So now I think now it is clear how this electricity will bring about this chemical reaction, right? So now since we have understood this, I'll just tell you one thing, that before, when electricity was not turned on, this electrolyte contains these mobile ions, right, and there was no chemical reaction taking place, right? It is when electric current is turned on that these ions, M plus and N minus ion, started moving towards their respective electrodes, right, that is towards cathode and anode, right, and these reactions occurred and these products are formed, right, after electric current is turned on, right? So here we say that electric current, in the process of electricity, this is how electric current will cause this chemical reaction to occur,